Hey, Gene, where are you?
Thanks. I'll continue.
Okay, welcome everybody. And how did you do on that little quiz? I
Hey, Mom,
saw
starting.
there's a few answers in there, but not everybody got them correct. But you'll have to get your thinking caps on, and anyway, welcome. Thanks for joining us this Friday afternoon. We've got an awesome group of diggers, a family that has so many talents that I don't think we could name everything on this show. But I wanted to give you a little intro. If you have not seen the We Dig It family, they are talented. They've got a song that they've put together, and I am going to use that as an intro before they come on and we talk with them. So without further ado, let's get started.
Metal detecting is something I love to do. I do it in the field, on the beach too. Pewter spoons, musket balls, rings so round. So much history beneath the ground. We dig it, we dig it, we dig it. We dig a lot of stuff in the ground. We dig it, we dig it, we dig it. Hey, why don't you stick around? How to metal detect, you may ask. All you gotta do is follow simple tasks via detector on Calico.
Wait, which one?
Then get the Garrett Carrot. You'll love it so. Log on to YouTube to meet some new friends like Ed Huffman or Digger's Den. Clark's Go Detecting, Brony Boys.
Wait, how do you say that?
The Metal Detecting Channel is a good choice. Park Red Pat, the Detecting Smiths, Mere videos you shouldn't miss. All these channels and many more.
What about the Hooper Boys?
But there's one you simply can't ignore. We dig it. We dig it. We dig it. We dig a lot of stuff in the ground. We dig it. We dig it. We dig it. Hey, why don't you stick around? Gene, Seth, Cole, Levi too. Dad rounds off our digging crew. Then hop over, hit subscribe, smash that bell. We'd be much obliged. We dig it. We dig it. We dig it. We dig a lot of stuff in the ground. We dig it. We dig it. We dig it. Hey, why don't you stick around?
Hey, welcome you guys. Thank you. Hey, what
Hi,
a
everybody.
song. What a song, you know? It's Gene, you've got such a talented family there. Those boys are just it's amazing, you know? And yeah, so welcome. Welcome you guys. Can everybody hear me?
Thank you very much. I can hear you, yep.
Gene, Levi, Seth, are you good? Awesome. Okay. All right. So, let's start off with the very first question. What is it like living in paradise, guys? Tell us about that.
Well, there's never winter, so we can always go detecting.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And I guess you're in shorts all the time?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah, yeah. And Seth, what do you like about living where you are the most?
I think I like how I like to see nature, I guess. I like nature a lot. I like animals.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see you guys go out do a lot of hikes as a family, you know, so that I can see that in you. And Eugene, what about you? What's your favorite part about living in St. Croix?
I love beaches.
Oh, okay. You're the beach guy. Aha. And now, is there surfing or anything like that you might start up in there?
The waves don't get very big. I don't really hear much of surfing. Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
A lot of the stand up and paddle. We see that around the island quite a bit. We haven't tried that yet, but you never know. We may try that one day.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I just had a comment here from Mama's Gone Detecting. Seth tried to adopt a baby goat. Is that true?
On our last hike, yeah.
Oh, and where were you going to keep that? Under one of your brother's bed?
Yeah, that's probably about right. On our last hike, when we got to the top, Frank, there was a baby goat there. There was no other goats around, and it followed us about a third of the way back down the hike.
Wow.
Back down the mountain.
Yeah.
Followed us quite a ways. And Seth said, "Hey, Dad, if that thing follows us home, can we keep it?" And in my head, I knew that it would never follow us very far. I said, "Sure." And it kept coming and kept coming. I was starting to get worried.
Yeah, you have to kind of be careful what you say sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, the good thing if you would have been able to take it home was that it would cut the grass. So, you know, you don't need to cut the grass for you.
Yeah, because along with living here and always being summertime, the grass always grows.
Growing, yeah, yeah. That's
12
amazing,
months
yeah.
of the cutting season. Yep.
Oh, yeah, very cool. Now, who was the one that really got the metal detecting going in this family?
I would say it was probably my oldest son there. We actually got a metal detector a couple of years ago. We went about things backwards. So we bought a metal detector and used it a few times, knew nothing about it, hadn't watched one YouTube video about it, and kind of set it off to the side. It was a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Took it out one time, it was raining, it got wet, and it never worked right after that. So I wanted a metal detector. I said, okay, I'm gonna get one that's waterproof, right? So we got the AT Max, not knowing anything about it, and it basically sat around the house for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then about a year ago, Gene grabbed a YouTube video and said, hey, you can actually know what it is before you dig it up. And this guy, Ed Huffman, said, hey, if on that AT Max, if it's an 81, it's a dime every time. And so we went out in the front yard, went over an 81, dug it up, and it was a dime. And the rest is history after that for us.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the thing about now. I guess in St. Croix they use U.S. coins and U.S. money there, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean the machines now are so in tune for the U.S. because they're so consistent with the metal content in their coins. So when it says it's a whatever, you're guaranteed that's what it's going to be in there pretty well. So,
Yep.
but that's kind of cool. Now, in terms of machines, do all of you have the same type of machines or no?
No, we have 3 machines and we all have different machines. I use the Simplex now. Last year for my birthday, I guess my boys wanted me to have a machine on my own so I could quit using that machine. So they got me a Simplex, and we already had the AT Max. And then this year for Christmas,
I got a detector, the Mini Horde.
Oh, hey, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, because that'd be perfect for you because you're just starting out on that, aren't you, Cole?
Yes.
Yeah. And now, are you finding that quite easy to use?
Yes. It has 0 chatter.
Oh, wow. So that's even better than your dad's machines, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Both of the other machines talk quite a bit, but this one, there's no chatter until you go over a signal, and then you dig it up. And it does good. I mean, he has found things that we've not found.
Wow, I know it's supposed to be quite the awesome little machine, so
Yep.
yeah, that's great for the kids to get it going, and that really gets them excited, in there. So
Oh yeah.
Now, you guys do a lot of challenges. Who's ahead in the challenges? Is it Eugene and Levi? Are you guys ahead?
Well, we do some. Are you talking about the father versus son? Because
Yeah, well,
so
I
I'm
mean, yeah, every time
quite
you
a bit
guys,
ahead of him.
yeah. You're,
He's beat me 3 times, Frank, and I've only
Oh.
beat him once. I just got my first win about a month or 2 ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that. I'm going, man, oh man, you guys are just in challenge. And the other thing I've noticed is you guys find a lot of quarters.
Yeah.
A lot of quarters. Now, why is that? It's just,
I think a lot of it has to do with where we live. There's just not anybody else that detects, and so, we're the first people. So, I'm a pastor by trade. That is my job, and
Yeah.
the church where I am has a school, and it has been here since 1967.
yeah.
So, from 1967 on, you had all of this traffic all day, every day, and nobody with a detector, and so
Wow.
we have benefited from that. So
Yeah, because it is quite something. Because most places they'll find the pennies, but you guys are finding the quarters. When I'm watching your channels, it's the quarters that are coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys are just you're great in the quarter hoarding, I call it. So yeah. Hey Levi, what surprised you most about metal detecting?
What surprised me most is all the animals in nature.
Okay, so you're an outdoors person too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be out there. I know my grandsons are the same. They're outdoor people, and they just love it. So yeah, it's cool. Very cool. Now, in terms of finding things, what would be on your bucket list, Seth, to find? What would you like to find that you haven't found yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really go detecting much, but I don't know.
You don't go out that much, but do you do who does the videoing in the family?
We kind of each video our own finds and that sort of thing. Seth he may not be, right into metal detecting, but he is the one that finds so much stuff.
Yeah.
So, one of the pictures I sent, it's not obviously not a metal object, but it is something that he found. I mean, he, ever since he was little, he kind of walks with his eyes to the ground and sees things that most people don't see. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's always good to have is to have your eyes to the ground, because you do end up finding a lot of money and things in in the long run. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear. Oh yeah. There's you got everybody gets that applause. So, now videos. Do you edit them together as a family, or how do you do that?
I pretty much do all the editing
Do you?
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did you learn to do that? How did you learn to edit videos?
When we first started the channel, the first video was edited by Dad, and then after that, I took it and I, watch YouTube videos, and I try to learn. At first, so I learned that relatively fast, and then I went up a little bit, and so I really try to learn them. I guess I taught myself kind of. It's all learning as I edit more. I'm getting better and better. So.
Now, what would you suggest for people starting out in terms of programs to use for editing in the videos? Because we have a lot of us older folks are kind of hamstrung sometimes and be able to do some of this. So we need some sort of an easy program. What do you suggest?
If you have a phone or an iPad with an Apple, iMovie is very simple that I find. If you just look up a couple of YouTube videos, you can have it down pretty fast. And it's very compatible with the iPhone or an iPad. So that seems to be, that was pretty easy for me to learn.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you use GoPros, or what kind of cameras do you use for when you video your finds?
We had a GoPro, and then it got fried after about having it for like 3 months. So we just been using our phones.
Okay. So everything's on the phone. Okay, that's interesting, yeah. So, now on the island, do you need to have permission to go hunting there, Gene, or?
Yeah, that's all that we have done so far are permissions. So people that we know, or a friend of a friend, and they'll give us permission. So we have a couple places that we visit quite a bit, but they're very large properties, and again, nobody detected. So there's lots of stuff to find there, and that's what we've done. So here, where we live, and then about 3 or 4 other properties where we have permission. We haven't ventured out into park hunting or anything like that yet. And we also detect on the beach, which you don't need permission for. All the beaches in St. Croix are public.
Okay.
So even if it's at a resort, it's a public beach. So you
get on there. Yeah.
can detect where you are.
Now, is that the area you hunt the most? Is the beaches when you go out and?
I'd say we probably detect on property like farmland more often than the beach, but it's pretty close. Yeah, every time we go to the beach, we detect. We just may not record every time.
Yeah. I guess it's Eugene's favorite place to go is the beach, so he probably does pretty well hunting down there.
Yeah, and we have a couple of underwater detectors as well.
Okay.
So little handheld pinpointers, and so we find quite a bit of stuff out in the water too.
Ah, okay, yeah. No, I haven't seen any of those videos from you guys yet, but that'd be kind of cool.
Right.
To do.
We've got one coming up, and we found this rock. It's about this big, but it gave us a metal signal. And so we bring them home, and we break them open with a hammer, and we find all kinds of stuff in there. We have found musket balls, cannonballs, and we found a button in one of them like that. So
wow.
We haven't like that yet, but we're hoping.
Yeah, what an experience for everybody to do all that, and finding things like that. It's amazing. Yeah. That's I think it's probably one of the best things. I've never been to St. Croix, so I imagine there's no malls And that's where
No.
you know kids end up being hanging around the malls. I mean, what better place to hang around in the beaches and detecting, you know, with you there? It's just it's incredible. You know, it's just
Yep.
so neat to see that.
No doubt.
Yeah, so neat to see that. Now, okay, I asked you about the gear. Now, do you guys? Okay. Here's a question for you. If you could step into my shoes, or should I say into my flip-flops, because that's all I see you guys wearing over there a lot of times, what question would you have asked that I haven't asked yet? Seth, how about let's start with you.
What question?
Yeah.
For like us to ask you? Or...
Well, yeah, something like that. So if you know, what question have I missed not asking you that I should have asked? Yeah.
I don't
Really
know.
makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like
Now, question for you. Now, okay, since you can't think of one, what do you play an instrument, and what kind of instrument do you play?
I don't play any.
You do? You don't play an instrument? So you're just a
No.
singer. You're just the backup singer, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh dear. Okay. So who's the most musical in the family?
That's easy to answer. That's Mom.
Yeah. She organizes everything and gets things going for the group.
Yeah, she's she's very musically talented. She knows the piano. Her major in college was music education, so she's very very musically gifted.
Okay.
I growing up, I only played the radio, so I didn't play any instruments. And then as far as the boys, Gene is the one probably that's grabbed onto the music the most.
Yeah. With a guitar and so and then I saw I'm
starting to learn guitar.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got very far yet.
and I saw one of you guys beating on the looked like an old bucket as a drum.
Yeah.
So someone's going to have to learn how to play the drums in the family.
There you go. Yeah.
You
Called
know?
cajon.
Oh dear. Now, how big is St. Croix? Is it a fairly large island or?
As far as the Caribbean islands go, it's known down island. They know it as the Big Island. Now, understand that's how they know it because a lot of the down islands are very small.
Yeah.
But to tell you how big St. Croix is, it's 84 square miles.
Oh, that's not very
It is-
big.
No, it is
No.
27 or 28 miles long and 7 miles wide at the widest point.
Okay.
So it is very small, but down island, people know it as the Big Island.
yeah.
We have a population of about 50,000 people, and we are about 60 miles off the coast of Puerto Rico,
Okay.
which has about 3 million people.
Yeah,
So that
wow,
should be an idea.
wow.
Like St. Croix is pretty small.
Yeah. Now, is it easy to get on and off the island for you guys, like to go to the mainland U.S. or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have an airport, and American flies in here, Spirit flies into here, so it's really accessible.
Yeah.
And all of my family, of course they live stateside, so we do go see them once a year.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep.
So in terms of, I guess, I was going to ask you the beach hunting and land hunting. So it's probably about 50-50, but beach hunting is pretty simple for you guys, isn't it? To get out there and walk in there. Now, how often in a week do you guys hunt?
It just depends. Yesterday, Levi said, "Hey, Dad, can we go hunt?" We had about 45 minutes, so we went and did a real short hunt. Found some interesting things. It was a spot, where we live that we hadn't been. We just kind of driven by it all these times and hadn't stopped there. And so we stopped there yesterday, found a few things. It was interesting. But we hunt probably 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I guess do you walk or do you to the beaches or?
No, we
Bike?
drive to the beach,
Yeah.
but then we're exactly mid-island, so it's the furthest to the beach in any direction from
Okay.
where we live.
Yeah.
Again,
okay.
it's not very far, but it's longer than a walk.
Yeah, wow, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so I have some of your photos that we want to talk about, and some of the great finds that you guys have found so far. Let me bring that up down here, and we'll see what. Let me get rid of this here, and we're gonna go and I don't know why that one's coming up, but yeah, it's just weird.
It happens.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's go on. I'm gonna work on here. I lost a setting. Oh, here we go. Okay, everybody's there. Okay, so yeah. Okay, we can see everybody. All right. So let's start off with the very first find here on this. Looks like a ring. Now, who found this little treasure?
On this gold ring. It says love on the front.
Yeah, that's yours. Yeah, was that yours, Eugene?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you find that? On the land or on the beach?
That was on land. That was in a basketball court. Actually.
Oh, really? Huh. I guess somebody just throwing the ball lost the ring in there. I'm always amazed how people lose rings. I don't know how they can lose it off their finger.
Oh, I know, and not find it. That's me. I say the same thing. How in the world do people continue to lose stuff like that and just leave it?
Yeah. It's just I don't understand it either. So yeah. And the next one here is this one's kind of it's hard to read, but
it is. That is from a hunt that we did on a brand new permission. It was a 5-acre farm where we were. There's literally nothing on this property. They have a chicken coop that they've started to build, but no animals or anything. They're just kind of starting this off. And it was a hot day. It was so hot. And I had this signal. I went over it, and it wasn't an exciting signal. I think it was a 59 on the simplex. Yeah. So I was like, well, but it was consistent both directions. I said, all right, Gene, let's dig this up and make this our last dig. And then this came out of the hole, and it is an 18. I think, Gene, correct me if I'm wrong, buddy, but it's an 1848 two-skilling, which is Danish, and the Danish, had the islands before the United States.
Yeah.
So this is an 1848, basically like 2-cent piece. And it is silver.
Yeah, that is cool to find those old coins in there. Yeah, in the 1800s. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's for us to here in Canada. It's rare we find anything older than 60 years. So it's cool, and especially with silver, because I guess in the olden days that's what they used. That was the value with silver and everything.
Yep.
So yeah.
And this is just for scale. This is much smaller than a dime.
Okay.
I mean, it is tiny, and I always think like for detecting like 5 acres and this thing that's quite a bit smaller than a dime, I just happened to walk over it that time. That kind of stuff amazes me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, when you're out metal detecting is every time you can go to an area and keep finding things, because you can never go over the same thing 100% every time. There's always room for a half an inch one way picks up the sound, half an inch the other way picks up something else. And so it's pretty cool to find that. Yeah. So.
Yep.
And this one here is this the backside or is it the same coin or?
Totally different coin.
Oh, okay.
This Gene, why don't you tell them about this one?
So this one is an 1859 10-cent piece. It is a little bit smaller than a dime. It is silver and it's Danish.
And it's Danish again,
our very first silver coin that we ever found.
Yeah. Well, these are the things that kind of hook you into this hobby of detecting.
No doubt.
Yeah. That's cool.
I remember, how, I'm sure anything that you do, when something happens, a lot of times it's etched into your mind.
Yeah.
We were leaving our house that day, and we had been to this particular property many times, and it's really a mountainside that used to be a community, but it's just grown over now. There's a cobblestone road in there and everything, and we were going over there. It's really tough digging, and I told Gene, I said, what keeps you going? Mm-hmm. He said, I want to find a silver coin.
Yeah.
And that day we found this.
Yeah, that definitely gets your heart going too, and finding it. Yeah, and 1859. That's older than you and I put together, Eugene. You know.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. And this one here is another one. I think this is another Danish one, isn't it?
It is, and you can see the date on this one. This is an 1804. You see that 18,
yeah.
and then there's like 2 hammers, and then 04 on there. And it is a 2 skilling, same coin as the first one, but just in much better shape. And we found this one just happened to go by, and I was like, hey, this is a pretty good signal, and didn't even have to dig for it. It was basically just brush the leaves and the dirt back, and it was on top of a rock.
Wow.
And it had been sitting there for who knows how long.
Yeah,
you know, since.
Can I tell them how I think?
Yeah.
So we think there was a storm like 3 years ago, and we think that a tree got knocked over and the roots pushed that out.
So the root push.
that's
You
how
take
it
the root
knocked
push
out.
that out.
Yep. Right up
Okay.
above it on the hillside, there was a tree that had been knocked down by the storm Hurricane Maria in 2017. And so that's our only guess. I mean, I don't think it would have been sitting on top of the road for that long. You know, we were
Yeah,
just
usually
trying
if
to get-
anything, it would be sinking rather than kind of coming up.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And the main reason we find so many Danish coins is because Denmark owned it from the 1600s all the way up until 1917. They owned it for a very long period of time. So, I mean, I'd expect to find American coins, maybe Spanish coins, but we would never would expected to find Danish coins. It's just weird.
Yeah. Now, when you were finding them, Eugene, now, roughly how deep was it? Are the coins that you're finding?
Depends on the coin. Some of them are very shallow, and some of them are pretty deep. And it also depends on the property, because there's some different soil, and the place that we found some of these coins at, all of them are pretty shallow. There's a lot of rocks,
Yeah.
so none of them really sink that much. But we went to another property and found one that was 6-8 inches deep. So that's also weird to find.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess that would make the difference. If it's a rocky area, the rocks are holding it, and everything would be kind of sinking the same way. Where if it's sandy and wet and moist, it just probably sink a little bit further. So yeah. Okay, and then this one here. Yeah. What is that?
That's in one of our videos. I think it's called ammunition digging. But this is what we found out later is something called grape shot. So
Okay.
it is just like it's an iron cannonball, but it would have been, tied onto a like a stalk of wood with several of those on there, with a burlap sack around it, and it would have been shot out. But it had several of those small little grape shot balls on there. And so the day we found that one again, just going over there and said, hey, this is a good signal, dig it up. And it was such a shock. You can see in that video the shock on Gene's face whenever he digs it up. He's just like, Dad, it's a cannonball,
Yeah.
I love those moments.
Yeah, no, it does look like it, and actually it looks like right now when I'm looking on my photo here, it almost thinks, it's a little piece of chocolate, It's just very yummy. And then here we've got some more. Yeah.
This one's painful.
Oh, was it?
This one's painful. So,
which one of the boys found it?
It was me on the beach. And so, again, the boys are in the water. I think we were all at the beach this day, and the boys were in the water. I was up on the land detecting. It's an area I've walked past many times, but you know how the tide and just different things, it changes all the time. I got a signal. I put my scoop in, pulled it out, and I said, hey, I think it's a button. And then as we're driving home, they're looking at it, and they said, Dad, I don't think this is a button. We got home. We tumbled it for about 6 hours, okay? And the very first time we pulled it out, after about 1 hour, I could see a silver edge. And they said, it's silver, it's silver. And so we tumbled it, and it took 6 hours to get it to where we could positively identify it. Earlier, you had the 1859 5-cent piece, silver. This is an 1860 10-cent piece.
Wow.
And so I positively ID'd it and I'm driving back up the hill to my house. I'm leaving on a trip the next day, and it rolls out of my hand onto the floor of my truck, and it rolls right along, and I watched it as it rolled. I'm coming to a stop, but it rolls, and there's a hole where the door comes together,
No.
and it doesn't come together all the way. I promise, just like out of a movie, it rolled right out that hole, and I couldn't find it.
Oh,
And
no.
I told the boys, I said, guys, I got a project for you. Can you find that coin? They find it that day. It was actually Gene that found it. He found it later on that day. I ran over it. And so that break on it is new.
Oh, no.
So it laid on the beach for about 160 years for me to run over it in 2021.
Isn't that something? It's just, yeah,
That's what
how
I mean.
all these things that the life and world throws at us it's really something, you know. But it's just, you know, the story is like when you're walking up to an elevator and you have your keys in your hand and you drop your keys and it always ends up going in the slot right between that. You know, no matter if you try to get your keys in there, you'd never get it. But it's just, yeah, stuff happens like that for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and here looks like a wonderful padlock of some sort.
It is. This is a Cole and I were detecting at this plantation where we had been many times, and this is a lock from 1890, the Eagle Lock Company in Connecticut.
Wow.
And it's brass. So we've dug up parts of locks that are iron, but we've never dug up one that looks like this. So it is just in phenomenal shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just dug that up about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because it almost looks like, you know, if you had the key, you could probably open it.
Yes, yeah. And you see how the lock, the where the lock is, it's turned a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the way it look. If I look up a picture of this lock online, that's the way they all look. So I don't know if it was a security feature.
Wow.
You had to have the right key to go in, turn it straight, and then turn it again. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's something. Yeah, that's a cool find for sure. Yeah.
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 We love finding the history. So when we get home, we start doing all the research and trying to figure out what the things are. You know.
Yeah, the internet's amazing. You know, I mean, there's so many great uses for it, like YouTube channels. We dig it.
Yes.
Channels. Yeah. And finding history. You know, it's great for those uses. Yeah. And then we have the group of you down here on the beach. Now, is there any sand in St. Croix?
Oh yeah.
Because this beach is sure is rocky. Yeah.
This beach is typically very rocky. We just had to stop because of the sunset, but it's very rare for beaches to be this rocky.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Beaches that are
Because
much-
it'll be a little hard to throw your towel down there and kind of lay down on that little bumpy, you know.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, that's a nice sunset photo, you know. So yeah, it's cool, very cool. And this one here is
our first and only lead soldier. You know,
okay.
Again, not a very great signal, but dug it up, and it took me forever to find it because this thing is probably the size of like the height of a quarter. It's really small.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
He's like, you know, he's Danish look and has a sword. So yeah, we found that one about a month ago.
Okay, yeah, because I know those things are kind of neat to find. I mean, the new ones, everything is plastic nowadays and what have you. So to get some of these old ones is just it's cool.
Yeah.
And okay.
It's right there.
And who was that? Was that yours, Cole, or?
It's Dad's.
No, that was mine as well.
Okay, okay. And then this one here, someone's trying to put a watch back together to tell the time.
Yep. This is our most recent video, I think, or has it even shown yet, Gene?
Been shown.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, it's one of our most recent finds. It's a pocket watch. But it's much smaller than your typical pocket watch. It's must have been like a dress watch or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. I mean, I guess sometimes you get, you know, the old days it used to have a little smaller and for their pockets and what have you. But that's
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's almost looked like you got most of the pieces there, and everything kind of rusted together. So
yeah, it was in pretty good shape, you know.
Yeah. And this here is Looks like a little bicycle seat or something.
We actually don't know what this is.
Oh, okay.
It has
Is-
what looks to be initials in the middle,
Yeah.
and it says 1740 on it.
Okay. So would it have been a coin? Maybe somebody made it into something else, or?
We have no idea. We've been trying to figure this out, but we just really don't know. We can't find anything. We've had people tell us maybe a beer stein, but that's really all we've been told.
Yeah. Okay.
I put it on ID Me. Gene actually dug this one up himself. You know, again in that same permission, the 5-acre farm. He dug it up and he said, "Dad, get over here. I've got something really old." And you know, like it looks like it has initials SJS. You know, but
Yeah.
We want to take it to one of our friends who's a jeweler to see if he recognizes maybe that hallmark, but we haven't been able to get it by there yet.
Yeah, that's always the hardest thing, is to find hallmarks and you know, what they mean on some of these things, because they kind of, you know, get rubbed off a little bit and get a little soft. So, yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Now, is this the back of it, or?
That's the other side of it.
Okay.
Yep.
You know what? I think I was talking with Deej the other day, and she had mentioned that, I think her, or was it Jersey History, they had kind of a thing the ladies had at the top of their blouse. They would pin them together, and I wonder if this is maybe half of that, because it was something metal, and
Yeah,
it could be something to that effect, where they would hold the collars together.
Yeah, it could be. You can see there on the right. Well, if I'm looking at the screen, it's on the right-hand side where that stem is. That's where it's broken.
I'm just trying to think, was it Deej or was it the Jersey History Hunters were talking about that, and that's what it just kind of reminded me, because it was just a few days ago that we talked about that, and it could be something like that. And then here it is here. Madison Main was saying it's a cloak clasp.
Yep, that's what Deej is saying as well.
Yeah, you know, so we're getting it, narrowing it down for you, you know. So it's good to get together in a group and put our minds together and come up with what something is. So.
DF Digger says, yeah, Stein lid pull for sure. So yeah, one of those two things.
Yeah, it's cool. And this it looks like it's a little horseshoe bracelet.
You want to tell them about this?
On the island, we have these hook bracelets that we made. Well,
we did not make this, but this is a bracelet that's, you know, from St. Croix. So it's called a Crucian hook bracelet.
Okay.
It's all silver, like the hook and everything, except that little band right there. That's gold.
Wow, that's cool. That's a nice
Yep.
find, yeah. Now so again, you know, like when you look at some of these things, like how do people lose these, you know, and you think if they drop it, I dropped my bracelet, bend down and pick it up.
Yes.
Okay, and then here we've got another little metal men. What do we have here?
All right, so this is, to date, this is our best find. It is, you know, like we still are trying to figure everything out about him, okay?
Yeah.
So he is a Tiwanaku statue. So the Tiwanaku are people that predate the Incas in South America.
Wow.
And if you just type in Tiwanaku and you're scrolling through pictures, you'll see this guy. He's actually a monolith in their city. And, you know, we still have a lot of their, you know, a lot of their city is still there. You can go see it on Google Earth, or you can go look at pictures.
Yeah.
But we don't know why that thing was here. It is made out of silver. I took it to this jeweler friend of ours, and he said, I can tell you it's very old, it's handmade, and it's pure silver. He said, that's all I can tell you about it.
Wow.
There's no markings on it. And again, just like most stuff, it wasn't a very eventful signal. I went over it. I told Gene, this is when we had one detector, and I told the boys, I said, hey, we can dig it up or not. It's kind of a jumpy signal. They decided to dig it up, and so I detected it. They dug it up, and it had a piece of iron right beside it is the reason why it was so jumpy.
Yeah, it's probably yeah. I guess when
But
you think
it's-
about these old natives, I guess they wouldn't put hallmarks on their little things that they make up. So you
No.
don't see any sort of like who made this, who would have made it. But it is a cool.
Right.
And now, how what's the size of that?
I think it's about 6 inches tall.
Oh, so it's a fair size then.
Yeah, it's pretty good size. It's a lot of silver.
Wow, that is cool. Yeah, that is a cool
Yeah,
thing to have.
That's our best find. We dug up a guy, and that's the thing. I was onto detecting something else, and Gene said, "Dad, it's a man."
Yeah. Now, is there like a museum that you could take some of these to kind of get more information on them, or?
You know, there are, but they're all either closed or just reopening because of COVID.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
been very difficult. There's a landmark society, and it has been closed since March. So we're kind of just putting it to the side, and hopefully we'll get to talk to somebody. We're thinking about taking this one particularly to the university. There is
Yeah.
a university island,
Yeah.
and taking it there and seeing if there's a professor that may know some more about it.
Yeah, that is kind of a cool. Yeah, that's a great piece of history to find there for sure. And it is a solid piece, is it? It's not hollow. I think we had a question. Is it hollow? But it is solid.
It does have it. It is not solid. I mean, it is real silver. It is hollow on the inside. So one of the jewelers I spoke to said maybe it was a knife handle, but it doesn't look that worn like you're handling it as a knife all the time.
Yeah. Wow. It's just
Hollow, but
Huh.
it's very thick. It's not very thin. Like it's very thick metal.
Okay.
The hole is pretty small.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
Another lady showed it too. She said it would resembled like something, an amulet, like a god that somebody would have carried around with them or something.
Yeah. Well, back then they probably did. They'd make these little figurines and hopefully they protect them. I guess so.
Yep.
Yeah. And here we've got a whole carton full of spoons from what I can tell.
Yep. And I think all of the boys had a hand in this day. So most of these spoons, I think 7, were found on the same day.
Wow.
Again, that hillside, very difficult digging, but we found one, and we must have found where the kitchen used to be on this property because they were just kind of all in this area. And so Cole dug one up, Levi dug one up, Seth dug one up. I mean, it was just I was going along and getting the signal, and they were digging them up. So we have found, and these are all pewter.
Wow.
So they're 17, early 1800s. They're old.
Isn't that something? Yeah. All in the same area. Why does something like that happen?
I don't know. I don't know if there was maybe a house fire or something. I really don't know. There was no charcoal or anything when we were digging them up, but they were just all right there in the same area. So we kind of, on that mountainside, we kind of dubbed the different areas. One is the armory because we found a bunch of musket balls, and the other one, this is the kitchen. So we always, hey, let's go to the kitchen, and we go over there and see if we can find anything else.
Yeah, that is quite something. So yeah, sometimes I guess you could almost think of it. Okay, it could have been maybe like a big kitchen of some sort where all these utensils would have been, and I guess they get broken, they huck them out the window or something, So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you guys are getting quite the collection there. Hopefully you're not being squeezed out of your home.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah. And then this one here, I think this is something from Cole. Cole, did you come up with this?
No, this one is Seth.
Oh, they're Seth's. Oh. Now, tell us about this, Seth.
We were in the States summertime, in the summer. So, and we went to like this bridge place where you could go and like look at the scenery and stuff. And there's like a whole lake. And I was just like looking around and exploring, and then I found that on the ground.
Oh, okay.
It's a fossil.
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
It's a fossil, but I don't really know the exact type.
Yeah. Is it like a clamshell or?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It looks
Okay.
like it.
Yeah. Okay.
This
Yeah.
was Frank. This was in Kentucky this summer, and it is a ghost town. Many years ago, around early 1900s, they dammed up the river, And so the life the life vein of that town was the river, and so it slowly died off.
Yeah.
And we were actually walking through what used to be riverbed, and there's this natural bridge formation. It's Creelsboro, Kentucky, if anybody's heard of it.
Okay.
And that's where we found it. He, again, eyes to the ground, and he looked down. He said, "Dad, here's a fossil." So
That's a great find there, Seth. Yeah. And then we have another one here. We've got a little heart.
This is my first silver piece I found. So we were down.
And it won't be your last. Let's say it won't be your last.
Yeah.
And
we
then
were down by the church on a soccer field, and right before this, I found a piece of bling.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was gonna be the only thing I found, but then I was digging through some roots because it was right on top. I dug the plug and I was digging through a part of the plug, and I got to the roots and I saw part of it, and I said, "Oh, it's just a pull tab," but then I pulled it out and it was an earring, a silver earring.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I know a lot of times I think we all say that it's a pull tab, and it ends up to be something else, you know. So it pays to kind of dig everything, even if it's trash.
Around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most times it's the other way around. You're like, "Hey, it's a great signal." You pull it out, pull tab.
Yeah. It's those ones that are iffy that end up to be pretty good, I think. You know, so.
Yeah, no doubt.
But those were, you know, the photos that we had, and so I thought it was great stories behind them all, and it's nice that you know, you share that with us, with the world out here in the YouTube land, and everybody's always interested in the stories behind the find, you know, and you guys have found some amazing things, and I'm sure you're going to continue, you know, finding it, and enjoying this hobby, and you know, we all look forward to seeing more videos from you guys, and maybe even a couple more songs, you know, yeah, you know, get that songwriting skills happening there, and you know, we all enjoy it. Everybody just enjoyed it very much. So,
yep.
But I wanted to thank you all, you know, for coming onto the Digging Richmond's live stream and sharing your stories. You know, your amazing family and amazing boys, Gene here, and it's just nice to see, you know, them, and I look forward to seeing them all in the future, and then just kind of finding what treasures they found, and how they're progressing in their lives, you know. So,
yep.
Are you guys planning to come back to the States, or is it permanent down there, or?
You know, this is where we live, so we don't have any plans there. You know, we're not like under any kind of a contract or anything like that. So I mean, it is just we were living in Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
The church here needed a pastor, and so they contacted me, and you know, my wife and I prayed about it. We moved, and we don't have any plans to make any changes. The boys, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows the age. So Levi, right there with Gene, is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Cole right here is 9. Seth is 11, and Gene is 15.
Okay.
And we've lived here 7 years. So this is, you know, where they're
it's home. Yeah, it's home.
Yeah,
and
home.
And what a place to live. You know, I mean, I think it you know, there's nothing that would kind of lead anybody astray there, other than going down on the beach, you know, and doing some treasure hunting, and yeah. You know, I like to say, I just thank you all for coming. I really enjoyed talking with you, and I hope you come back again soon. And you know, so but yeah, thanks a lot. I'm going to let you guys go. I know it's getting past your bedtime down there, and you know.
Well, thank you, Frank. We really appreciate it. I know that the boys were really excited all day. They couldn't wait for this, so it's been fun.
Yeah, no,
really
thank you.
It.
Thanks, Cole, Seth, and Eugene and Levi. He's hiding back there. He's being bashful. I see that. But and Gene, yeah, thank you very much. I'll let you guys check out on yourselves there. I'm just going to move on to another camera here, and we'll We'll see you guys later. Thank you very much
All right.
for coming on. Bye now.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for letting us on.
You're welcome. Well, what an incredible family to have an opportunity to come on and chat with on this channel. I just thought it was just great, and thank you. And I wanted to kind of just say thanks for everybody that's come on to the channel here, and I saw Deej was in here too. Thanks for coming, Deej. Madison, Maine, I guess it's past his bedtime, so it's getting kind of late back there. Mermaid Treasure Hunter from the futures come back here to see us, and Tina, the boys were fantastic. They really were, you know. Mama's gone detecting, and thanks for coming. BC Treasure Trails, Jason, hey, thanks for showing up here and being on time, man, thanks. And Ambient Girls, always, thanks Nancy for all your hard work and what you do moderating here, and just great. DF Digger, you know, he's off too. It's late night for them back there. They're coming on the show in a very short while. DF and Madison, Maine will be on. Be another great interview. I'd love to see them. And Mark the Berg. Hey, Mark the Berg's on there. Thanks for coming. And let's see who else. Missed anybody else here? Future Bleeps came along here, and thanks for coming. And I'm looking for Brooklyn Treasure Hunter was here. And let's see, who else? Did I miss anybody else? And I was looking for somebody else that said I missed their name last time, and Mr. Wayne Wilton. I don't see him out in the chat here. I guess he's not here today, but you know. But anyway, it's you know, I hope you enjoyed it. I think it was just an awesome group of family to have on, and so. But thanks for coming. You know, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up and say good night to everybody, and we will see you on the next stream. And let me just see here. I've got coming soon. I just wanted to kind of bring it up here to see where we're on here. So yeah, we've got Zarps coming on this coming Friday, and Park Rat Metal Detecting is coming on the 12th. So, you know, stay tuned for those, and yeah, so. But yeah, you know, so here's a few shout outs to, you know, to some of the channels that I watch and they follow us on the side here. The other way here, and hopefully if you haven't hit the like button for them, to please do, and also before you exit, if you could hit the like button for me, I would love it. And oh, I did have Mr. Wayne Wilton. The Wayne Wilton was in the room here, so yeah, so thanks for coming, you know. Nice to see you here. And Alabama Dirt Digger, yes, thanks for coming. And Mark Thomas, always a pleasure to see you out in the chat here. So thanks, and I'm going to say good night. Good night, John Boy, as they said in the old TV show.